I guess the most useful aspect of this is that it's faster than flying up with the bat. I love these prisoner guys. They'll shake the bars if you're near. If you see when you start to walk away, they'll go back into the shadows. If you come near them, they'll sort of turn around. But yeah, if you see if you're near it. Yeah, see, he turns around and sees that you're there. Again, little tiny touches like that, I get a huge kick out of. Because you know what it is? I always imagine that there's some programmer who makes all of this, and then he's done, but while everybody else is working on stuff, he's thinking, oh, what else can I add to it? Let me see if I can do something else. And then so they throw these little touches in because they just have time. All right, so we got a save point here. Then right under it is another room. In the Japanese version, I believe that's a second fairy. The familiars in this game are a fairy, a demon, the ghost, which is like the skull, a bat, and a sword. In the Japanese version, there are two. Actually, I like to go down here. In the Japanese version, there are 2 demons and 2 fairies. Love this fountain. Turns all red when you get near it. This is the hallway down here. If I remember right, this leads to the clock tower. Or to the bell tower. But before that, we get to the sword familiar. One of the cool things is the familiars, a lot of them have different purposes. The ghost and the bat. Excuse me. The ghost, I forget what the ghost does special. The bat I like because if you turn into the bat and you fire a fireball, I believe it fires one with you. But then the stronger level the bat familiar is, more bats will come out when you turn into the bat form, which I thought was just kind of cool. The sword familiar is great. He's a little inaccurate, but when you get him to, I think it's level 50, he unequips, then becomes a different version, and also becomes a sword that you can equip. Plus, if I remember right, there is a sword spell, but to be honest, I don't ever play the game long enough to get it. So it's been forever since I've even seen it. Alright. With any luck, I'll be okay with this fight. Sometimes I have a little bit of a hard time with this fight. This is one of those fights that... Oh, he invites me to sit down. I might as well sit down. I don't want to be a jerk about it. This is one of those fights that I used to do with the rapier sword. So I got to a point where I'm not even good with this fight without it. Alright. You're going to just start right off the bat. You want to just start wailing on him. I don't know. For whatever reason, I have the hardest time with this guy. Luckily, the Soul Steel... I know some of you guys are watching this and just are embarrassed for me. There we go. Which every time I see this, I think of Crocomire from Super Metroid. Ah! Not too tough, but mandatory for a normal playthrough. Whenever I say mandatory, I mean for a normal playthrough, because, like I said, there's probably some speed runs where you don't have to do any of this stuff, but... Actually, you know what? It kind of isn't mandatory. You'll see where exactly I use this, and it is actually possible to do what you have to do with this and not have the echo of the bat. It's very difficult. Alright, so what do I normally do from here? There's a few ways to do this now. I can use the library card and go back. Or I can teleport back. Here, you know what? Why don't we do that? I could have done that earlier, so why don't we do that now? Again, let's equip the library card. Now that I have the power of the wolf, it'll make going through that hallway easier, so. Makes it pretty super speedy. Now, again, take the library card off. Oh yeah, we're here, so we might as well sell those other jewels.
I'm interested in this.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, they got more of this. Okay. Okay, there's garnet and then opal.
Farewell for now.
What do I have as far as money goes? 23,000. Okay. There isn't anything else mandatory to buy, but one of my favorite items in this game is the it's a Joseph's Cloak, which opens up the menu to change the color of the cloak. And like you can really fully customize the color, the inside and out. It's not even that strong of a cloak, and it doesn't do anything other than look different, but I don't know, just it's such a cool feature. Oh, lots of lag there. Oh, no, wait. There you go. Come on, rapier. Nope. Wasn't expecting to come through here again, but figured I'd try it out. Oh. Accidentally went up. Through the door. And run. Oh. Alright. We're finally back at this room. Again, there's probably some super cool skip to open this up earlier, but like I said, this is how I play the game. Every time I play the game, I pretty much do the same thing. Not a whole lot of variation. This was, when I was growing up, this was my idea of speed running, where it was just do it the way you were intended to do it, but in a different order, in the most optimal order. You know, and try and get as much stuff as you can. Alright, this is a bag of money. I will need... Don't need to do that, just I like to do it. We got a fight coming up that's going to be mandatory. You're going to need one of the items. One of the items is very important from here. These are all 1 coin, so they're nothing really significant. These are all meal tickets. Except for the one at the bottom, which is actually a pretty good item. Raises all your stats after sunset. I forget what time on the game, on the game's counter counts as before sunset. Because after a certain point, it will just not do anything. But there is a sunstone that will do the same thing while the moonstone is inactive. But you can beat the whole game before you actually get to that point.
Mother!
That voice! Alucard, it's you!
I'm coming, Mother! I'll save you!
No, Alucard! Don't come here!
But Mother!
It's all right. If my death can save others, I gladly surrender my life.
Mother, no! Please, no!
Yes, Alucard. Watch me die, and remember always my last words to you.
Great last words.
Yes, Mother.
You must despise humans. They are to be your prey.
What?
I'll remember. Wait, what?
Better for them to die than to let them compound their sins. Begin by slaying that one over there.
I imagine her pointing with her chained up hand, and then one guy in the crowd like,
What's wrong?
what did I do?
Alucard.
My mother never said such a thing.
What do you mean? Kill them and bring them happiness.
No, you're not my mother. What kind of demon are you?
The sexy kind. There's some pretty racy artwork of her online.
I like that.
Although that gets us pretty racy artwork of everybody online.
Death is too good for you.
Come here, little boy, and show me what you've got.
The Holy Rod actually does some pretty good damage, which is hilarious. And then, see, you messed it up. Yeah, see, that's kind of a... come on. Soul Steel works good for that attack. Oh, come on with that. You just have to hit each one. Here, we'll do this the normal way for now. Build up my magic power a little bit. Come on. The little points will hit you going out and coming back.
Darkling, I smell your blood. You're a vampire? Could it be... that strength, that beauty?
Maybe it's
You were the
Maybelline.
son of Lord Dracula.
Death in the dream world will set your soul wandering for eternity, demon.
He does have good hair, doesn't he?
Wait, I beg of you.
If you ever get a chance to see the Japanese one, the scream that she does in that game is it's a little horrifying. Like, that one's very sexual, and in the Japanese game, like she's in pain, and you can tell. All right, so we're gonna get out of here. That gold ring is one of the ones that you need. I bet you can't guess what the other ring is going to be. But yeah, you'll need both of them. All right. Whee! All right. Come down here. This fight isn't, not mandatory, but I think you're supposed to do this earlier, I think, or at least it's powered for you to do it earlier. I think slicing weapons actually do more damage. Alright, so what I usually end up doing, I used to get behind this boss and then use the axe armor. Now I get behind it, and I just... throw a few holy waters, and that's it. All that for a crystal cloak, which has been outpowered for a while now. Again, it has a cool effect, though, where you can sort of see through it a little bit. That's one of those things where I wish you could take that aspect of it and put it on something else. I played Warcraft for a while, and while I was playing, they used to have this. It's called transmog, which was you could turn a piece of gear, make a piece of gear look like a different piece of gear while maintaining its own stats. And I love that idea. I love being able to customize my look in that way. So it always bums me out with games like this where you're stuck using whatever's there just because even though you don't like the way it looks. I'm actually going to stop right here, though. I'll see you guys next time.